It's that time in the show where we get fast and curious. We are about to embark on a quick quiz, and I am excited to have our guest Chris Ward here with us. Chris, are you willing to play with me?
I look forward to it.
Awesome,
Cool.
fantastic. So get ready for a lightning round of questions where we'll dive into various aspects of transportation and infrastructure. Chris, I'll fire away with some questions. I will start the sentence, and you will finish the sentence.
All
You
right.
ready for the challenge?
Bring it on.
All right.
Okay.
Demolishing the original Penn Station was a tragedy, but
History presents its opportunities. Terrible, terrible tragedy, but we find ourselves now at the beginning of a whole new era of transportation, a whole new era of technology, and I think one of the most exciting things is a whole new era of design and of architecture and of a new whole form of expressionism that can recreate what was beautiful and fantastic for the Beaux-Arts Penn Station of that time. Tragic we lost it, but let's take the genius of design and architecture today, which is flourishing everywhere, and bring that to the new Penn Station.
yeah, for sure. Madison Square Garden doesn't want to move and relocate, but
Madison Square Garden will do what they want to do, which is in their own self-interest. And the question is, how does the city create an environment that Madison Square Garden does what's best for the city, and at the same time allow the garden to be the garden? But the garden should not be driving this project.
infrastructure is not sexy, but
But I love it. It is sexy. Of course it's sexy. I mean, what do people complain about the most after the weather? They complain about their daily life as it relates to infrastructure. They're complaining about roads. They're complaining about their commute. This is on their mind all the time. Do they love it? Is it a sexy relationship that they're saying I'm getting satisfied? Maybe not. But it's a relationship that is there granularly and sexy every single day, and people love talking about it.
yeah, no, that's true. Tax exemptions make no sense, but
Well, you never want to give away money when you don't have to, and that's the biggest thing. And there are a lot of times where we've seen, particularly, and this is the troubling cloud that hung over Governor Cuomo's original idea for Penn Station. When does a tax exemption effectively become some form of long-term subsidy investment in a private sector operation that does not yield the public benefit that you want? On the other hand, a tax break, which we do all the time, I mean, let's be candid, tax breaks can be an effective way to stimulate a dormant part of the economy because, for a variety of structural reasons, you can't dig your way out of it with private capital. Private capital can be dynamic, but it doesn't necessarily go to the public projects that you need, and that's when some form of tax exemption or public subsidy can, in fact, be used, I think, in a thoughtful way.
I have a follow-up question on that.
All
But
right.
let's finish
Good.
this little quiz.
All right.
Everybody agrees that we need a new Penn Station, but
we can't afford to tear ourselves apart by thinking we all know what it should be. The point is that there has to be soon, based on all the studies and all the information, a clear consensus, and we have to stop shredding positions and parties and attitudes and come together and know that not everybody's going to get what they want. Will the garden get what they want? Will ASTM, will everybody get what they want? Will the MTA get? Probably not. But everybody's got to leave that ego at the door if we're going to be successful.
federal funding is available for our infrastructure projects, but
But let's make sure we spend it in the most effective way. This is President Biden, let's be clear. This isn't a political message, this is history. President Biden has passed now probably four of the most transformative bills in the past 150 years of the United States, since the Marshall Plan, so it's not 150 years. But he has put together an amount of funding for America to redo itself in a way we've never seen before. And that is a game changer for how we think about what we're building and what the future is. And if we squander it and we don't use that money to the highest and best possible use, this historic President Biden will be deeply, deeply disappointed because he wants to deliver those benefits with that money for not only New York and New Jersey, but for everybody else who can be part of those four incredible infrastructure, climate, transition deals. Amazing.
so actually President Biden's nickname is
Amtrak Joe.
Amtrak Joe, but
But but Amtrak is slowly coming out of the chrysalis that Joe knew it could be when he would ride it every night coming back from the Senate. I think people are beginning to see that Amtrak is changing and is becoming the kind of service that one would expect. It's going to be a while before it gets there. I think turning around, just like you said, the Northeast Corridor is critical for their credibility. I mean, why? I mean, I hate to say it as much as I take Metro North upstate all the time. Why, when I travel on a train in Switzerland, let's say, the bathrooms, the accoutrements, the way the trains are run and how it's run is just night and day. So there's work to be done.
Through running is the norm everywhere in the world, but
let's, if it's the norm, let's stress test it here and get the most out of what through running could do. But let's not turn through running into the holy grail that we have to fund it regardless, because it might not, at the price tag that it's potentially going to cost, give you, on a cost-effective basis, the kind of returns that you want. But again, and I keep coming back to this, let's stress test it. Let's find out. So the public then goes, they're building what's best for the public, not worrying, is this a land grab by a real estate developer? Is this a private sector, investment where they're going to make money? The public deserves to see and understand what's getting built there.
America is not enamored with rail, but
it's going to have to be. If we don't, seriously, from a both commodity perspective and moving goods, we have to learn how to get trucks off the road. We have to find out ways to use the rail system. And then last, as we were just saying, this region was based on a 19th century cost model that is now completely out of date. You are not going to be able to raise tolls on tunnels and bridges. Fares are reaching now their human tolerability. It's too destabilizing. So you need alternatives. And you need alternatives to get people out of their cars so they're not paying tolls. And you need alternatives for people to get to their work, which is not costing them so much money that they have nothing left at the end of the week.
Yeah.
We might not like rail, but it better come because we need it fast.